Cue the dummy. And there is the chime time. What do we call it again?
Loosey-goosey chime time. Thank you to Mark Panopoulos for that.
Yeah, Mark Panopoulos named it.
One of our biggest fans, I think.
Yeah, one of our biggest fans. Do we have fans? Hey, what's going on?
Well, if you think like somebody we know, then they're fans.
Yeah. Oh, so, yeah.
We want to welcome everybody back. We're at Leah's Garage. We're having the big grand opening on this Victoria Day weekend here in Canada, and celebrating our Queen. And just the opening weekend, I guess, for summer to kind of unofficially start.
It's good for yard work this weekend.
Going to be tons of people doing yard work. Big Daddy Russ Horton, I'm Lee Lake, and Leah Lywood behind the camera. And once again, we're on location at Leah's Garage. The grand opening this week. We're going to have a ton of jammers going. Check out our Facebook page. We'll probably do some live video on Sunday as well. We'll see if I have time, because I'm probably going to be running my ass off. But it's going to be a fun day.
You love every minute of it.
I do love it. It's fantastic. We get some awesome musicians that come out, man. We're so fortunate. Not just here in town, but we've got some people coming from out of town, coming far as Cambridge and Fergus, and they're coming from all over. So,
wow, that's a ways out, Fergus. It's got to be at least 30 minutes away from here, as the crow flies.
As the crow flies, pretty much. So, going to be a lot of fun.
But we're changing the format of this show a little bit. We recorded it last week, but it didn't record, so we said to hell with it.
Along with 4 others that we recorded that didn't record.
Not enough mom spit, I don't think.
Oh, that was brutal last week.
Friday the 13th.
Poor Leah last week. I felt so sorry for it. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, we're changing the format just a little bit. We're going to talk more about our radio stations and about music. We're going to talk a little bit about the news and the sports and stuff, but basically we're radio stations, and we do video.
We just do this video once a week just to bring it to your attention. But we've got some dynamite great stations. FM 108, of course, a regurgitated station that was very popular in the 70s and 80s.
I was there.
And he was part of that. And
Mark Panopoulos was.
Rockin' Robin.
Rockin' Robin, Robin.
My Uncle Rex was also part of that. He was the overnight guy. And so, a very popular station, 50s, 60s, 70s stuff. And
Norman B. and Glenn Darling creation.
Great, I want to say, your old style rock and roll.
I grew up, when I worked at FM 108, I was the music director there. And I grew up basically when I was in my teens and 20s playing Johnny Tillotson records. And I was 20 years ahead of my time, or behind, whatever. You know what I mean? I was into, of course, personally, I was into the Eagles and Pink Floyd. And I learned this whole generation of kids, and I kind of grew up with that, because I grew up at FM 108. That's where I spent 11 years of my life. So I have, and people wonder why at 61 I know so much about Ernie Maresca and the Four Seasons and Buddy Holly. It's because I lived it every day of my life. Norman B. was an amazing man. And he...
knowledgeable beyond knowledge.
My God, the guy was a walking encyclopedia. Yeah. And he was my best friend.
He was the first Alan Cross, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good way to... And he interviewed everyone. I used to sit in his office and for lunch, because we were best friends. We used to talk about ball games every day, and we used to hang out. He was my buddy. I loved him. I cried like a baby when he died in 1997, I think it was. But anyway, I'd be eating my ham and cheese sandwich, and we'd be talking, and the phone would ring, and it'd be Carmelina, the receptionist, voluptuous gal, by the way. Carmelina, she was Italian. Oh, my mind's drifting. But so the phone would ring, and it would be Fats Domino. Jesus Christ, I'm sitting in there having my lunch with my boss.
Wait for the president to call you next.
He'd put him on the speaker. Hello, Norman, how are you? I see that your football team won the game, because he was a big NFL fan. And stuff like that I grew up with. So I became not only knowledgeable, but I lived it. The best way to describe FM108.ca and FM 108 is American graffiti all the time.
Pretty much,
nonstop.
Yeah.
50s, 60s, 70s. We don't go past that. I do the morning show. Bert Toms, who was an alumni like myself, he was there before I was, is on in the middays, and in the afternoon we have Glenn Darling, the Godfather, who started it all.
Yeah.
And then we have the 60s at 6 with all the 60s tunes, and then at 7 o'clock it's Steve West, and we have news, weather, sports from Air Radio, and
Yep.
it's just like listening to. And people flatter me when they say, you guys sound like CKOC used to, Oldies 1150.
That's
and to me,
that's a compliment.
you're damn right, because Nevin Grant, who ran CKOC, was one of my idols.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to work for Nevin. I almost did once, but never turned out. But so that's basically what FM108.ca is about. But we'll talk about more music later on. We'll get, I guess, into a few of the headlines here. I see that Jason Kennedy is going to stay on as the United Conservative Party leader. And a statement issued from UCP caucus chief Nathan Newdorf Thursday said, a day-long meeting in Calgary had vigorous discussion and debate about the future of the party and the need to stay united. So there's uproar in Alberta right now.
Controversy going on in Alberta, and seems to be always does around Jason Kenney. I call him the Doug Ford of Alberta, but it's that party's just had so much turmoil and so much bickering going on back and forth within the party.
It's not going away.
It's not. It's not taking off. So
I see the passports are getting harder to get. Huh?
Well, this is it. You've got all these refugees coming in from Ukraine. You've got all these other refugees coming in and out and going. Lengthy delays for Canadians seeking a new or renewed passport. Service Canada says it's up staffing at passport service counters to expedite processing ahead of the summer travel season. Yet travelers say they're still facing long wait times. And that's, like I said, I'm not shocked. You've had people that haven't traveled for several years, so why get your passport done? Well, now they can travel. I got to go get my passport done. So you're going to have a lot of people that are needing their passports getting
done. I saw one of the lineups on
TV.
TV. Incredible.
Really?
I wouldn't stand there. I'd be on my way doing something else.
Yeah.
All right, and we talked about this guy just a few weeks ago.
I know.
Vangelis. Is it Vangelis or Vangelis? I think it's both. Right.
It depends.
I always refer to him as Vangelis.
Depends what parts of the country.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's different inflections depending on, and I think it's both. But Greek composer Vangelis, who is known for his celebrated film themes for Chariots of Fire. Here he goes again. Sure, that sounds more like Jason, Friday the 13th. Remember that? Oh God!
Oh yes.
We're showing our age, but it's a sad day because not only I guess it was what was the other film that he had there? Blade Runner.
Right.
He had that. He was 79. Doesn't say how he died though. Paying tribute, Lord Putnam, who produced the film Chariots of Fire, told the BBC Vangelis had created a new musical landscape.
Yeah.
And he certainly was an amazing...
he added music to film that I don't think anybody had really done up until that point. You know what I mean? The music supported the film as opposed to trying to bring it up and bring it down. It just kind of kept that.
As a matter of fact, and this is a real tribute to him, when I think Chariots of Fire, I think of the instrumental before I do the movie.
The movie.
Because the movie was kind of, but that instrumental,
Well, that's it. You get
That's how I remember it.
You get some of these movies that were not really rememberable movies, but their soundtrack was incredible.
Yeah.
They had just amazing soundtracks out there. One I think of all the time is Grosse Pointe Blank. Just had a great, really, really, not a great movie, but a really, really good soundtrack to the movie. The guy was 79 years old. He gave us some interesting stuff, and unfortunately, we all become.
It's a sad part.
We all become worm food at some point.
That's right. It's a sad part of life, and that being death, I guess.
Now, this story, because we didn't talk about the Leafs on the other show, because we really don't want to talk about them too much.
About the Leafs.
I do want to say this that I didn't say on the other show is when it came down to the Game 7, it came down to the refs. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Well, we should have won Game 6.
We should have won Game 6.
Yeah.
Game 7 was a tight-fought game. They did not lose that game.
No.
You know what I mean?
As a matter of fact, I'm amazed at Tampa Bay and the quality of their hockey team.
They just, it was a solid hockey game, man. I don't care what anybody says. They shouldn't hang their heads too low. Yeah, they're out in the first round again, but it wasn't a shitty loss that you just go, oh, well, yeah. No, that was a good fought series. The referees screwed us on that one, on both those, Game 6 and Game 7. There were bad calls. And not just on the Leaf sides. There were bad calls all the way around.
I have to say something to Leaf fans who are getting on the team. I mean, why do you do this every year? You know, I mean, it's so much harder to win a Stanley Cup than it used to be. There are more teams now.
Oh, God, yeah.
Now, this first round curse is a crock of shit. We ran into a very good hockey team. Former champions. And look what they're doing to Florida now.
Yeah.
So shut up. I know you're hurt. It's like having a wife and you get mad at her. You know what I mean? For a couple of days, and then look at this. This is not going to go over well with the women. Is
No,
it?
this is not.
No, but it is. It's like you love your wife.
No, it's a reversal.
You love your wife. You love your wife, of course, right?
Or your husband.
And you love your hockey team. And it's the same kind of thing, you know. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, I'm gone. That's it. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. But getting back
to say dumb things on Facebook.
Getting back to the story, Maple Leaf star winger Mitch Marner says he's doing safe and well after the victim of carjacking. You probably heard about this all across the news. This was on Monday evening in Etobicoke in Toronto. Marner posted a message on his verified Twitter account thanking fans, teammates, and the Maple Leaf organization for their message of support after the crime occurred. Pretty scary, you know, and that it's been becoming a problem here in Toronto or locally in Toronto. That Mayor Tory's actually gone to the government asking them for help because these
people can't afford rent.
these carjackings. Well, it's that's got to be scary as hell, man. You know, like it's got to be. It's yeah.
It really makes you.
I couldn't imagine somebody coming up to me in my car with a gun or a knife, because these guys are coming up. Two of them have guns and one guy's got a knife. Well, what are you going to do?
Wasn't it a trailer that they were going after? Was it just a car, or was it an actual like?
No, it was a Land Rover, wasn't it?
It was his Land Rover.
Oh, okay.
And
those things are worth a bundle.
then, like I say, they're going for high-end vehicles. This is the thing the police have talked about. They showed some videos today on other news channel. And they're going after the high-end SUVs, and they're doing it in Walmart parking lots. They're brazen.
That's why I drive a low-end vehicle, my Chevette. My Chevette's out there. People look at me a lot, but they never say anything to me. They never want to steal my Chevette, but it's high-end, yeah. And you got to feel for these guys. Getting back to the game for a sec there, with the Leaf fans, what I wanted to say was, do you think these guys wanted to lose? They were trying so hard. Look at Soup. Campbell was crying.
Yeah.
Okay? And then Mitch Marner was really upset, and then the poor bugger gets carjacked 2 days later. How would you like to be him? Well, I'd love to be him, actually.
Well, sure.
But anyway, we'll get off that for a minute and jump into...
Just glad he's okay. Everybody was safe and fine. He handed the vehicle over. Smart thing to do. Don't fight him.
Now, Crown prosecutors want Ottawa protest organizer Tamara Litch sent back to jail to await trial. I like this one. Claiming that she breached her bail conditions by agreeing to participate in an event next month where she will receive a Freedom Award. Okay?
They have nothing better to do with their time, I guess.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I think she knows she made a mistake now. Let's just let her get on with it.
Yeah, like what a waste of money and finances and that
then
time.
We have to pay for her sitting in jail.
Examples of
oh yeah, they're trying to make an example out of her. So
I guess so.
That's exactly what the things that they're being, the way they're being punished for what happened at this point, it's redundant.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They're not making any more points with it.
No, I agree. It's and just another reason to listen to one of our stations like Radio GTA, because then you get to hear great music and you don't have to listen to all this gibberish.
I've got the GTA swag on right here.
GTA swag going today.
And the Big Daddy swag on here.
And of course, our other stations, we've got Halton Hills Online, as you can see, our local community radio station, and Leah, Russ in the morning and Leah in the midday morning, and I'm in the midday afternoon, and Yeah, we got lots of great shows that
Leah
go on.
Lake
And
drives you home every afternoon. There you are. Yeah, we'll get some swag out here from the station.
And speaking of that, we do have hats, shirts, everything's available. You can get in touch with us on Facebook, and we will fulfill your order. We've already got a bunch of hats out there, like Mark Papanopoulos.
Papanopoulos?
I know.
I know. No one can say Mark's name.
Oh,
Mark
God.
Papanopoulos.
Mark Panopoulos.
And he's not related
Sorry, Mark.
And he's not related to the guy in Chatham who invented the Hawaiian pizza, by the way.
Okay.
Even though they share the same name.
Oh,
spelled
really?
the same way. That's right. Mark used to come into the station with feta cheese sandwiches. Oh, Robin and I used to stand there and go, my God, are you going to eat that? It used to smell like sweaty socks.
I was going to say.
Maybe a taste of it. Well, it actually tastes very nice, feta cheese.
Can't get past the smell.
Oh, I can. Are you kidding me? I could live on feta cheese. I love it.
Sorry, Mark. I didn't want to share that with everybody. But
like I said, we've got great shows all across all our stations. And we got great people that support us, too. You know, we've got guys like Austin Douglas out there.
Yep.
Even Leah, too, supporting us with all the stuff that she does. And Allison Meeks and everybody that's involved, and it's
good having Allison Meeks on board.
Yeah,
She's it's our web person.
Yep, and clean up some things on our web, and we've got some great stations, like I say, FM 108, RadioGTA.ca. We've got Halton Hills Online as our local community station, and just tons of good shows. It's Rich Appel, does a great show.
With
that
Rich
thing
Appel.
with Rich Appel.
You love that jingle, don't you?
Oh God, yeah. It got stuck in my head for a long time. Actually, it drove me nuts.
He's
after
a funny
while.
guy, the king of spoonerisms.
Yeah,
I don't know how he writes that stuff.
He gets some great interviews, though. He's I've seen some of his interviews, and it's great to have him on board. So
he's and we have, of course, a Beatles show on FM 108 every Saturday morning.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. Every Little Thing, and it's the name of the show, as a matter of fact, with Ken Michaels.
We're going to be doing a couple Beatles tunes tonight, actually, in Lee's Garage with my band, Crazy Chester.
So we'll just wrap up the news here quickly and tell you that, yes, the war in the Ukraine is still going on, and there's nothing really we can tell you that you don't already know. I would guess, that
and do you
the steelworks, the soldiers have been evacuated out of there. Then you got Prince Charles and Camilla. They arrived in, Ottawa, and they're up in the Northwest Territories.
Did you see that Prince William and Kate went to the opening of the new Top Gun movie with Tom Cruise? Like they hung out with Tom and went and did the whole, red carpet ordeal and whatnot. And I'm like, I never realized that Tom Cruise is your height.
Oh yeah.
He's standing beside Kate.
He's like 5'7", I think it is.
Not even. Yeah. He's standing beside Kate, and she's got 2 or 3 inches on him.
Yeah.
Maybe she's getting older.
Yeah.
I was blown away to see how short he was. I met him years and years ago, very briefly. I'm actually in the movie Cocktail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a scene in the bar where they scan across the bar like this, and everybody's doing this in the bar while I'm up on the table. Screaming like this, and it pans across, and you can freeze the video and see me standing there. My buddy's sitting in the booth. They filmed in Toronto. They filmed that movie in Toronto in a warehouse, and the bar was built inside this warehouse to do all the filming. It was really cool. So yeah,
some great trivia, isn't it? Wow. Cocktail.
I'm
hanging around
with a star.
I was in the movie Cocktail.
All right, so what else is going on here? Oh yeah, we got here in Ontario. We're having a big election, as you can tell.
A big election.
4 of them faced off on Monday night, and it was a lot of pointing and yeah, it was a whole thing. And the white gunman, of course, this is really sad, accused of massacring 10 black people at Buffalo supermarket. Absolutely horrific.
Yeah, the things going on in 2 days down there. You had a bunch of shootings like this going on. This being the larger one, obviously, but California, there was another one that went on in a church. This gun control stuff is out of hand, man. Like, it's just too freaking easy for
I
people
saw the
to get it
video
done.
on in the parking lot after it happened, and the woman was I just sat there with tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Yeah. Well, exactly. What do you say to these
And the
people?
guy filming it, and and the people are going, oh my God. Something like that happens. You don't think it's going to happen in your neighborhood, especially Buffalo.
And I know that neighborhood. My friend of mine, Tony, lives there. He's 2 blocks away from that top store.
Oh.
And when I talked to him the other day after it happened, they were just they're overwhelmed with it. It's just so much.
Well, if you can only imagine it happened over in the Acton Plaza here.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. It's just so overwhelming. I can't even say that I could understand.
God bless you all.
Yeah.
I can say. All right, so the gas prices we'll touch on quickly. They're ridiculous.
And like I said in the other video, 4 years a barrel of oil price has not changed. The only reason this is happening
Here
is
comes
because
the
of
F
greed.
word again. He's going to get into it just like he did with the other show. See,
Hey,
when
I got rid of one of my kids so I could put gas in my car. So.
it's
Exactly.
ridiculous. The price of gas is just insane, man.
It is pure greed and tax. They have taxed the hell out of gas so bad that we are getting up the arse big time here in
Before we get
Ontario.
into the fun stuff, the sports and the music, we'll tell you that Indigenous groups are welcoming news that Pope Francis plans to visit Canada this summer, and
Ask for
he's,
forgiveness.
He knows how to ask for forgiveness in about 6,000 different languages, I think.
Probably.
When you think about it.
Well,
And I
considering
meant that. Think about that for
Yeah.
a minute. But because the Catholic Church ruled the world.
well, and they've screwed the world over too in a lot of ways. They've hurt a lot of people. You're talking mass genocide just here in Canada alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told this story before, but years ago I used to be a repairman for medical equipment, and I was in a home in just north of Edmonton, Alberta, and come to realize that this place I was in was built for those 8 priests that got charged out in Newfoundland and Labrador 20 odd years ago for diddling little boys. These guys were living the lap of luxury. They were not in jail. They were in a beautiful home with all the amenities, all the great foods, because the Catholic Church took over the penalty, so to speak, that these gentlemen were handed out, that they were put in jail. Well, they were not put in jail. They were put into a beautiful home just north of Edmonton, Alberta, and so I imagine some of them are still living there. And again, I've no faith in the Catholic Church anymore, especially, like I said, after seeing all the genocide we've seen here in Canada lately with the Indigenous children. I have no faith in them whatsoever. I'm sorry.
All right, let's get into the sports.
Sports!
Battle of Alberta. Calgary Flames blasted Edmonton 9-6.
Who didn't see that game?
I think the whole country was watching that. They lead.
Leah puts her hand up.
Leah was watching, that dating show.
Oh.
I don't watch TV.
The Carolina Hurricanes, they defeated the New York Rangers. They took game 1 in that
Yeah.
series. That's still a big surprise. That's going to be a game 7, I think.
I think that'll go 7, yeah.
And then we got, of course, Tampa Bay. They've taken a stranglehold
Yeah,
on that one with a 2-1 win over the Panthers. Makes the Leafs look better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that'd be a lot closer. But, of course, Tampa Bay were a little bit lucky in game 2.
Oh yeah, there was a bit of luck there, but you got, and it's funny because you look at it that Florida's number 1 team in the NHL at the end of the season with like 10 points above anybody else, and they're struggling.
Yeah. And then you've got what else happened? David Perron, the kid from Sherbrooke, Quebec, had a couple of goals. St. Louis evened up the series.
I was shocked
with
at
the
that.
Avalanche 1-1.
I was shocked at that. I thought the Avalanche was going to kill this series.
I think they will, but it'll take them a few games. And of course, you've got the NBA playoffs. Boston Celtics, they evened up their series with Miami. And as a matter of fact, they slaughtered Miami, 127 to 102.
Yeah, that's a
Jason Tatum had 27 points in that one.
That's a big points difference there.
The Jays didn't do that well with Tampa Bay, and they did take 2 out of 3 against Seattle this week. So
What is it with Toronto teams in Tampa Bay?
I have no idea. We were playing the Rays the same night we were playing.
Yeah,
and we beat the Rays that night.
And we lost.
I was like, hey, can we switch?
Yeah.
You know?
Just this once.
Yeah.
Just once. That's all we're asking.
Let's get into some fun stuff here. Of course, we're all about music, really. We're radio stations, and FM108.ca, RadioGTA.ca is our freeform station. But we like to look and talk about music and some of the Leah's stuff that she's put up on our Facebook social media this week. She always digs for some neat stuff, doesn't she?
I know.
Yeah, so here's the top 5 from let's go 5 years ago, 2017. See if you know any of these songs. Number 5, Humble by Kendrick Lamar. Ed Sheeran was at number 4 with Shape of You. Ed's done well.
Just had a baby girl, by the way.
DJ Khaled featuring Justin Bieber with I'm the One was at number 3. Number 2, That's What I Like by Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
And the number 1 song 5 years ago this week, Despacito, pardon me. Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee featuring Justin Bieber.
See, that kills me because it's the first 4 you read off to me, I knew. The last
Me
one, I'm going,
Ooh.
I'm lost. I'm lost. What are you talking
I
about?
was too at the last.
Did you want me to read all these off? Or did you want to jump in with some of this stuff? It's up to you.
Well, how
Let's
many
do,
we got?
I'll do one more here. Hold on. I love doing these. 15 years ago, 2007, number 5 was Because of You by Nayo. And Nayo was big for a while. Timbaland featuring Nelly Furtado and Justin Timberlake with Give It To Me. That was all over the radio back then. Avril Lavigne's Girlfriend. Remember that song?
Yep.
Yeah. And Makes Me Wonder, Maroon 5 was at number 2. I love Maroon 5. Good band.
Yeah, great band.
And number 1, Buy You a Drank, Shorty Snappin' by T-Pain featuring Young Jock.
Lee, know that one?
Now you see, no, I'm a music
I'm
guy,
lost.
and
I'm lost. I have no idea
because
who that
maybe
is.
I don't know. I was never a fan of Shawty Snappin'. But anyway, it was number 1 15 years ago.
I know.
15.
Well, here's even a couple here that, a couple I know. 25 years ago, 1997, number 5 was For You I Will by Monica.
Oh, yeah.
You Were Meant For Me, Foolish Games by Jewel. Of course, we all know that one. Return of the Mac, Mark Morrison.
I love that song.
Mbop by Hanson.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Mbop. Actually, they're on tour right now. The brothers have gone back out and they're on tour right now. Hypnotize by Notorious B.I.G.
B.I.G.
He was big back then, wasn't he?
That was a big song.
Yeah.
That was a popular one, yeah.
Now we're getting into my generation. 35 years ago this week, number 5, I Just Died in Your Arms. Cutting Crew. Great song.
Just died in your arms tonight.
And at number 4, Kim Wilde with You Keep Me Hanging On. That's a cover of a Supreme song, of course. Oh, The Lady in Red by Krista Burr. It was all over the place.
Lady.
Yeah.
I got memories of that one. I used to wear a red dress.
Everybody has memories of that song. Jody Watley, Looking for a New Love. When was the last time you heard that? And the number 1 song 35 years ago this week. That sounded like Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
With or Without You, you too, number 1. What was happening, Lee Lakin, this week in 1977?
1977, I was 10. So, number 5, Got to Give It Up by Marvin Gaye.
Oh, yeah, great song.
Dynamite tune. I got to play this tune with my daughter at the Appalachian one night. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac is number 4. I love this one too. Number 3, I'm Your Boogeyman, Wrap Your Arms Around Me, KC and the Sunshine Band.
I remember talking over the intro.
The talk on that one was incredible. Leo Sayer at number 2, When I Need You.
Yeah, good song.
And then at number 1, the one, the only Mr. Stevie Wonder and Sir Duke. That was
I love the
45 years
twist
ago.
on that with the big band stuff.
Oh, beautiful songs. Amazing.
55 years ago, 1967, when I was born.
I was 2.
Yeah. Am I doing it? Or
It's
okay,
yours,
I'm
man.
doing it. Okay, number 5, The Happening by the Supremes. And at number 4, Engelbert Humperdinck. And Release Me and Let Me Love Again. That's a big wedding song. Still today, I think that is.
It is, yeah.
And they had a problem with Engelbert Humperdinck in
his name and announcing it.
No, not the name. They put his name up on the billboard there, and the sign fell down.
Right.
It's the weight of. Come on. And moving right along here, number 3. Where are we here? Number 3, I Got Rhythm from The Happenings, and Aretha Franklin with Respect at number 2. The number 1 song, 55 years ago this week, is "Groovin'" by the Young Rascals.
Yep.
Great song. Great song.
It was actually, I think yesterday was the date that it was actually put out there.
Yeah. Excellent song.
So we got 65 years ago, our final on the list, 1957. Number 5, School Day by Chuck Berry.
Wow.
9 Love Letters in the Sand by Pat Boone.
Yeah, those guys, the pop vocalists were in there, like Perry Como and.
Number 3, Round and Round by Perry Como.
There you go, right there.
Number 2, Little Darlin', the Diamonds. I love that tune. I love
they're
that
from
tune.
Rockwood, Ontario.
Get out. I did not know that.
Yeah.
No. And number 1 in 1957, the man himself, Mr. Elvis Presley, and all shook up. Oh,
I've heard of him.
Oh,
Yeah, I know something about him. I've heard his name before.
yeah.
I think everybody remembers where they were when he died. I was at the Burnham Thorpe and Credit Woodlands in Mississauga. I was going to get gas in my car. And I remember the radio coming on and saying that he died. I think everybody remembers
I
where
heard
they
it
are.
on my clock radio.
Yeah.
I was at home in my room.
Yeah, and I'd put the radio on, listen to Elvis all night.
I was never a really big Elvis fan myself, so I'm a Buddy Holly nut, so I love him.
I had no choice. My mom was
same
all
here.
over it, like all the
Same
other
here.
women
Are you kidding me? Same
in
here.
North America and elsewhere.
Oh, God, yeah.
So that's what I heard a lot of growing up in the younger days.
How are we doing for time, Sweetie Pie?
32, just turned.
About 32 minutes.
So
we'll get into a couple of year trivia stuff here. 1962 this week, May 19th. 3 months before her death, Marilyn Monroe makes one of her last appearances, and that was at the President John F. Kennedy's birthday. Remember when she sang to him? And this is Leah's trivia. That's what we're calling this stuff. And Sonny and Cher got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this week in 1998, I guess. And you had something on the Midnight Special. Oh, yeah, the Midnight Special offers another salute to 50s and 60s rock and roll with Frankie Avalon as host, and performances by Sam and Dave, Luke Christie, Frankie Ford, the Fleetwoods, Shirley and Lee and Fabian and all. I used to live for Midnight Special as a kid because Wolfman Jack was on that show. I thought he was so cool.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody wanted to be Wolfman.
Oh,
I
still want to be Wolfman.
I spent a weekend, not literally with him. I was only 13, but
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Spent the whole weekend up at Aberfoyle Mill. My friends' parents owned it.
And he's such a cool guy.
On
I knew him too.
On this day in 2013, a guitar played by John Lennon and George Harrison sold for $408,000 at auction. This custom-made instrument, built in 1966 by Vox, was bought by an unidentified U.S. buyer in New York, and George Harrison played "I Am the Walrus" on that guitar.
Awesome.
So, very cool.
Very cool stuff. I guess that'll be a wrap for this week. But we would like to remind you we're FM108.ca, 50s, 60s, 70s. Air Radio News, Weather, Sports. Radio GTA is our freeform station. We have a local radio as well for Halton Hills in Ontario. And of course, we have our video where we look at the week
This
here
video.
in Canada. This video is the Air Radio vlog. And this is Lee's Garage.
Yes.
Right?
We're going to be cranking it up here tonight and again on Sunday, and going to be looking forward to Sunday for sure.
Yeah, it's
if you're in the area and you want some live music, stop by.
And for those of you around the world, we'd like to say hello to our hometowns this week. Fort St. John, British Columbia. Beautiful area in northern BC. Lake Louise.
Great spot.
Lake Louise is nice. Banff, that whole area.
Yep.
Our salute to Brantford, Ontario, the home of Wayne Gretzky this week on Facebook. Also, we looked at Sioux Lookout. We have a hometown of the day that we do on Facebook every day, and I do it for fun because I love learning about new places. And there's so many places in Canada where you can really have a good time. As a matter of fact, every hometown has its own story. So
Exactly.
you know,
Amen to that, brother.
some of them are Septile, Quebec, Pictou, Nova Scotia, and Osoyoos, British Columbia, which is desert. It's desert there. Beautiful desert. Sandbrush blowing by.
Beautiful.
And the mountains are absolutely gorgeous out in Western Canada. So we would like to remind you that expanding community worldwide from Canada's hometown, we are Halton Hills, Ontario, and we are the Air Radio Network. Should I hit the
Just want to say goodbye to everybody and say
Go
have
ahead.
a great weekend. Be safe out there. Happy Victoria Day weekend, everybody. Enjoy the long weekend. For Big Daddy Russ Horton, I'm Lee Lakin and Leah Lywood. Have a great weekend.
All right. Now, are we going to say anything on the end of this recording for the Christmas
For the
tape?
Christmas tape.
Fart!
I just farted. I just farted.
Oh, God. Ooh.
Yeah, but now she's told us that. Now we have
she's
to.
not shutting it off either.
I know.
She's waiting for us to
She's
say
waiting for
something
us to do
funny.
something else because she knows that we're just kind of gearing up for it. So.